I've been feeling guided to do readings, and then I fall into my hobby, like painting or making music. So then I forget to do a reading. I live like I am a 16-year-old jobless person, but honestly, it's working out for me. If this is what entrepreneurship means, I'm all up for it. No, just kidding. Thank you, Most High. I also do my skincare a little bit, but I hereby call upon the Most High and is supporting. Yeah, what do I want to say? And is supporting angels and the masters and ancestors of mine with the highest intention to descend down, create a circle of divine alignment, the border of pink, to protect us from all that tries to bring us down. Anything with malicious intent is hereby immediately exposed. So it is. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's ask the Most High what this reading is about. The Eight of Coins reverse, not doing your job, not being consistent. That sounds like I'm gonna call myself out. Not being consistent, not doing your job, not learning, not focusing, not believing that effort and skill creates fortune, inevitable fortune. With number 8, it's inevitable. What's on the bottom? Six of Cups. Seems like the joy has left the building. Something that you enjoy to do or that you really like to give your energy to or invest in. It's gone. And that's why you have been going around it. Like you've been avoiding how to build a healthy relationship with whatever it is. Because the joy is sucked out of it. It can also be a relationship, but I don't really necessarily feel the tone of the reading right now. We'll get to that. But you think something is not working out because the joy is over. So, what's the subject of this reading? Hello, and welcome to a random live reading. We had the Eight of Coins reversed, so there's a lack of consistency, a lack of belief that exactly what's it called? Practice makes perfect. And it was to the Six of Cups because the joy has been sucked out of it. Now with the Judgment, the theme is an awakening, a wake-up call. It's something, a calling you hear. Maybe it's your divine calling. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to continue to the Four of Wands. Calling to show yourself. Calling to celebrate, to meet. You feel like something, like the joy is out of it. You're not having fun anymore. That's why you're not really showing up for the job. That's really why you're not really doing it. To the Six of Cups first. So because the idea of you investing this into this calling, the joy has been sucked out of it. It's done and it's over. But it's burdening you. You think it's burdening you with the Four of Wands to the Six of Cups. The Four of Cups ignoring, like you're ignoring that something is a burden to you emotionally. Say to the Three of Cups. It's like a side quest or a side hobby. And you're telling yourself that, yeah, Six of Swords. You're telling yourself that it's best if you just move on. But is it correct? Should the collective move on? Queen of Cups. Saying yes. Hello, Russia. Welcome. Greets from Amsterdam, from the Netherlands. Queen of Cups to the King of Wands. So it's something that your heart's not in this anymore. Your heart is not connected to this task, this third party, what you feel like is your calling, or it was your calling. Is it still this collective's calling? To the King of Wands. So your heart's not in it anymore, in that person or in that part of your life or in that part of yourself that feels like this is your calling. That's why you've not been investing into it. To the King of Wands, and then the King of Wands to the Sun. So it's because your inner child is telling you something and you're overlooking that. To the Sun, and then the Ten of Swords. Your inner child can see that you're gonna abruptly end something or finish something, so you subconsciously already feel this pull to not even start it or continue with it. 18 minus 20 is 12, the Hangman. So you've been really, thank you for the likes. You've been really, how do I give back something? Is that possible? I don't know how I can give back something. Oh, wait. That was weird. Hi, sister of the brethren. Hey guys, everyone, I'm just doing a really random reading about quitting a task or something in the material world, or how can I don't know how to give back to you guys. I wish I had like something to give back to you guys. That's stupid. I don't have anything to give back. Sending you all the likes and love. Love from Amsterdam. But this reading is about you feeling within yourself to not continue investing into a person or a job or a skill or a talent because you feel like it's going to be worthless eventually. Your inner child is already telling you something's going to end very abruptly, and it was a full decision anyway. Interesting. What is this about, Most High? Is this about love? Is this about work? It's about your independence. It's about probably your work, your business, your social status, how you show up to the world, how you present yourself. So it's really about work or your money. It's about your business if you're an entrepreneur. My voice got really shaky, so it's like somebody is still afraid to own or admit that they're their own boss. They're not really walking the talk. To the Nine of Coins, to the Knight of Wands. You think that you did something or that something is very impulsive, or you're treating it very impulsive. You're struggling with the impulsivity of it, like the sudden bursts of passion you feel to suddenly focus on that job or that task. It's a lot of work to you with the Seven of Wands to the King of Pentacles. It asks a lot of energy from you in your day-to-day life and your routines. And that's why you always think it's best to just move on and just do it a little bit. From the Six of Coins to the Eight of Coins, that's the Two of Coins. So you're actually breadcrumbing yourself because you think that that's the best option for now, because you think that what you're doing is just not worth all the time that you're investing into it or the money. The Three of Coins is asking of you to come with a plan or a routine or a coach or a schedule or somebody in between who's going to help you. And this is going to help you get out of a certain bind. Ugh, the Devil is on the bottom. It can also mean that it's not working for you because the project, it's like a negative bind. It's based off of something like greed or jealousy or envy or lust. So it's like a thing you do with other people. It can be a project. like a group business or group project with the devil and the nine of wands. So that's why the energy is too heavy for you. 7, 8, 9 with the two of wands. You can already see in the future that something is going to be bad for you, and the reason why is because your intuition can already foresee your inner child, can see with the gift of sight that the energy is karmic, it's demonic, it's stagnant, it's only going to keep you stuck, it's not going to give you money, it's going to be more of a loss than a real investment. And you're already sensing it right now for things that are coming in way ahead. It can be 2 years to 20 weeks. I'm hearing 18 days. What's that? 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I saw 3/19. I don't know for what they calculate that. Let's see. 3/19. For what's this measurement used? 3/19. For length or volume. Never mind, I'm not even gonna. Okay, let's see. What is this devil about? The Fool. It's about a risk. What is this risk about? The Six of Wands reversed. Six of Wands is the risk to the Hanged Man, so we're full circle now. Six of Wands reversed to the Hanged Man. The Six of Wands reversed. Being humble, not overcoming conflict, being stuck, losing, instead of having a victory, being the aggressor or the loser in a situation. So because you can already see that you're gonna be the loser in the situation, you already know that it's not worth accepting this deal or this offer of working with someone or continuing with this hobby. Is it detrimental to my collective's energy in the future? Like, is it really or no? It's not. Okay, that's interesting. Seven of Swords, so it's a lie. Thank you, but it's also the lightning though. Thank you, Quinton. It's definitely the lightning though. It is the lightning, and everybody has blemishes here. I have blemishes. It's normal, okay? It's thank you, but it's the lightning. You see all these crazy pimples and scars. You don't see that up close. So it's fine. But thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate it. And now the time is up with these little nasty. Yes. Anyway, thank you very much for the compliment. I wish I could give something back to you. That's what makes me beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, let's go back to the reading. Seven of Swords. It's a lie. Because we're going to find out what the lie is. Because this can mean that whatever you feel is trying to stop you from doing your work is actually the oppressive force, doesn't want you to be successful. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Carl. You guys are gonna make me blush. Very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. So let's see what the Seven of Swords is. The Two of Cups. That means exactly what I was saying. You are ignoring a relationship or a connection or a job because you feel like it's going to give you bad energy or it's going to be a very bad result. To be determined. What's a scam? It should be determined that it's a scam. Your name says it all. Anyway, you have the feeling that it's going to be detrimental for your health or your future or for your success, but in all factuality, it's going to be very healing to you. It's going to mirror who you are. It's going to help you ascend a certain perspective over love and relationships, and it's also going to help you face yourself. It's going to help you face how you look at your own wounds. I hear how you lick your own wounds, so how you heal. Something has to do with healing very strongly. We got the Lovers on the bottom. There is no factuality here. Pie in the sky bullshit. Okay, well then, goodbye. I'm gonna put you in a timeout. Oh yeah, no. No. Don't be like to be determined. Don't be like to be determined, because people like that, they're exactly like this energy that we're reading about, that wants you to believe that what you're doing is not right. So it's actually good that he showed himself, because it means that what we're reading, or at least what I'm reading, that the energy is confirming it to me at least, that there are people who are gonna try and shame you, hate you, and talk smack about your decisions in life, but also there are a lot of people in the world that are really trying to get under your skin. Thank you. I will. Thank you very much. And then there are people who will get under your skin and they will try and talk you out of it, okay? Out of your plans, out of even your thoughts or your feeling or the conclusions you make over life. Also, when you have a certain research or when you're going through a certain process and you are doing research, going through that process, you're collecting all your information, your data, you're trying to see what resonates with you, what confirms your intuition, but also your authentic truth, because I feel like apart from the objective truth in life, like the all-knowing truth, we also have subjective truths, and they are just as important as objective truths, right? That's why everybody has their own truth. That's why you have to stay close to your heart, close to yourself, and fight for what's right for you, okay? Of course, you always have to have in the back of your mind, am I hurting somebody while I do it? If you hurt somebody else while you're doing it, then it's not good. Then you have to rethink how you're exerting your practical plan about it, right? But there will always be people who are gonna try and, I feel like I want to say, disturb your process, disturb your energy, disturb your focus and attention. This is really about focus and attention, because we started with the Eight of Coins reversed in the beginning. Upright, this means focus, attention. It means a tunnel vision. It means really focusing on what's at hand, the work, the task at hand, and just doing it so repetitively and consistently that you can build something from out of it, okay? You can build something from it. But it came out reversed. So these are people or places or things or opinions of those around you that kind of want to block that process. And I feel like the reason why, we will definitely pull a card on it, but the reason why is because they can see something about your success in the future that you right now can't. You know why you can't see it? because you're so focused on creating that success. If you're so connected with your own zone, your own energy, and what you're doing, you're like really canceling out the noise, and you're really ignoring what's going on around you. And sometimes it can cause for you to also ignore the things that are good for you, and things and critique or feedback that you should hear, because you're just caught up in that whole, I want to say, like locked in that grind. You're like grinding, getting that paper. Yeah, of course, fleshy tech fish. Wait, I'm gonna do it like this. Ask away. Maybe I can do a Q&A later as well, but this is just, I'm gonna do it there. So you have people who are like, you can sometimes also ignore the good things that are coming. Very nice eyeliner brows. Are they natural? These are natural eyebrows, yes. Should I do a beauty Q&A? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Almond oil for your hair and for your face, it will fix everything. Almond oil. Natural, pure almond oil. Yes, they are natural. Thank you. Top. You're a Dutchie. Fleshy tech fish. Yeah, they're natural. I actually have a monobrow, but I do remove the middle. But it's not really that heavy. But sometimes you just have these. You have it's the lightning. I swear it's the light. Anyway, you have, because I have this like golden light kind of thing. But I also have like a monobrow, but the shape is my own. I just remove the little hairs underneath here. Anyway, I bet you are married. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with the reading. I like all these questions. Maybe I should just do a personal one-on-one one time. Yeah, the light saves me. Yes, it does. You see? So, anyway, exactly. So these are people who see, they see that when you continue with what you're trying to focus on, that it's gonna bring you success, it's gonna bring you love, recognition, it's gonna bring you abundance, financial wealth as well, you know. And then people don't want to see you in that state. You look mad fresh. I just did my skincare, that's why. No worries. Anyway, people want to keep you off of your, how do I say that? I don't want to say destiny, because all of these tarot reads these days, it's all about destiny and stealing your destiny and black magic and voodoo and all that shit. And okay, it does happen in the spiritual community, but once you're out of it and your mind is not focused on it, don't watch readings or go into that subject again, because that's gonna pull all that energy back again and you're gonna attract it like that. So this is definitely not, this is nothing to do with, well, at least I didn't check it, but with black magic, there will always be somebody burning a freaking candle on you. There, like, everybody has haters. That's just a fact. Like, even the smallest or the cutest people, they have haters. People who wouldn't even hurt a fly. And the thing with this reading is what I'm really picking up on. It's like subliminal energy, you know? So people who are watching you on social media, but it's because you, for example, have an open profile and they just keep track of what you're doing, and then they can just send out negative energy by trash talking with their friends about your profile or what you're posting. People, for an example, like the guy that we had like a few minutes ago coming into my live chat, just talking mad trash and trying to start a fight, 24 on the clock when I said that. So yeah, let me see what angel number is. There's always somebody who is gonna try and make you derive you off of your path. And the reason for that is, in how I changed it now, I think it's people, they, you guys, like, I need to close the comments or something, because because I'm getting distracted by the comments. I'm getting distracted. Okay, thank you. I hide all the chat messages. Now say whatever you want. I won't see it. Anyway. Now I forgot what I wanted to say. What was I explaining? Well, the age remember. Oh, yeah, okay. So you have haters everywhere, and you can let a hater, like, literally affect you to the point where you change your route or your steps. Or you can also turn it around and be like, you see, this hater is coming here hating on me because they know the same thing that I know as well. That if I continue, I will become better and greater at what I'm doing. I will evolve. I will get success. I will get money. I'll get fame. Whatever you want. Even if it's just making your name big or your brand bigger. Or, for example, if you make art or work on commission, you just want people to know your name. So you can do more of your passion, and that's creating art like on commission for others. So it's building up that brand, you know, it's building up that reach, that audience that you have or that's meant for you. And when somebody's trying to hate on you or trying to come in and sway you off of your focus or your path, it's usually a reminder that you're on the right track. And that's how you also switch that narrative in your mind. You can fall into victim mindset and be like, you see, I have 5 or 6 or 7 people who like my work, but then there's one person who is hating on me. That means that I shouldn't do this. You can let that person completely attack your character and make you believe that you're not worth following through with your passion, right? But what's it gonna get you? It won't teach you anything except for that you easily give in to other people's critique. It also teaches you that you're very sensitive and susceptible for other people's opinion. You're not really that confident about your passions and your drives. You are... Stop. This is bad. Anyway, angel number 2424 tells us to be patient a little longer, as parts of the bigger plan need to fall into place so that the right doors of opportunity present at the exact right time. Rather than jump at the first thing that piques your interest, wait for clear and obvious signs that will guide you in the right direction. Do not be too hasty when making choices and decisions that will have long-term impacts on your life. Think through possible scenarios and outcomes and pay attention to your emotions, as your feelings will clearly indicate which choices to make. Trust your intuition and you will know which path to take. Trust yourself to continue on your current path, but only if the path feels totally right to you on all levels. If not, change paths now. So that's the thing. It's to consider all of your options and weigh up what's truly important to you and what is not. Do not waste your time and efforts on activities or people that do not support you or bring you joy. Exactly. But rather choose to spend your time doing things and spending your time and efforts on things and people that suit your true self and that resonates with your life purpose and mission. So doing what makes your heart flutter, what makes your belly ache from laughing, that's what you should focus on. Not anything that tries to make you sad or bring you down or make you or helps you stare into the void in an abyss of nothingness and be like, I should have done better, you know, staring like, my life is so boring, I don't got nothing to do, I gave up on this and that because those people who are supposed to be my supportive friends were telling you to stop doing it. Like, no. Okay, so what's advice for the collective that will hear this message? Thank you. The Knight of Wands and the Two of Swords. If it doesn't uplift you with a sense of passion, and if it doesn't fill you up with this big, hello Michael, welcome to the reading. It's a live reading. If it doesn't uplift you and like feeds you with this big wave of, I will I will answer your question in a minute, please. I'm gonna finish my reading first, collective reading, and then I can answer any question, you guys. So if it doesn't make you feel full of passion and like you really want to take action, no worries, don't worry. And if it doesn't make you feel like you want to take immediate action and throw all of your energy into it, then it's probably something you should just ignore, because that means that that's not for you. And it's also trying to tell us that every time you are met with an indecision, it means you should completely let go. Because there's this saying in Dutch, I don't know how to say it. Like, literal translation in Dutch is, with doubt, the answer is, when you doubt, the answer is always no. Some people say when you doubt, the answer is always yes. It really depends on the region where you're living in the Netherlands. But I always told myself, when in doubt, the answer is no, because it will easily tell you what would be a waste of time. Like, you're very good at scratching off what's not yours, you know? And of course, we got the advice up against the King of Swords. So the thing is this, every time you get met with an indecision or you struggle to decide what you want to invest in, it means that both of the topics that you're choosing of in that moment, or both of the choices, they're just not worth your energy. Yeah, they're not worth your investment. And every time you let yourself stand in front of that indecision, you kind of block your power. You block your decisiveness. You block your magic, like your own essence, your magic. Like, everybody has something that they're very good at, and a lot of people like have the Midas touch, but it just depends on where. Some people can be very good with cars. Some people are very good with computers. Some people are very good at baking. We all have our own unique golden touch somewhere, you know, on the subject. And whatever it is for you, collective, this is advice for when you feel stuck, or when you're stuck in between two choices. That means that neither of those choices are probably good for you. Okay? So, do we have something else? Yeah, take your time. Knight of Coins. It's a lot of about adventure. We have a lot of knights. So it's a lot about also understanding the adventure and the travel behind your journey and getting to the destination, having fun while you're learning, while you're maturing. And with this card, it especially focuses on only give time and energy and build towards that with the Ace of Wands, to that what gives you that passion, that drive, that intuitive shock in your gut that tells you this is for you. Only do that with those things that you know on the long term will be very beneficial for you in any shape, way, or form. You will live a very fruitful life of it. You can get a lot of, yeah, I won't say, you can bear a lot of fruits from it, from this tree. And that tree can be any kind of tree in the future, you know. Some people, they think, for an example, it's like when you, yeah, I need to get my mind straight because I'm talking to everything. With the Nine of Pentacles, it really wants you to focus on what is a really worthy investment. Long term, what can help you become wiser, richer, professional, financially strong and wealthy, professionally advanced, okay? What can help you feed in that longevity? It's really asking of you to only focus on everything in your life right now in this phase that will give everything that you're putting in there back on the long term. No flip-flopping into hobbies that you're shallow about or doubting if it's gonna be nice. No, this is really the moment to be secure about your choices, okay? And if you're not secure about it, that's no problem, but don't dwell on it. Move past it, put it aside, and focus on that what's giving you a strong sense of security, but also confidence. Something that makes you think, yeah, I know I'm good at this, so why should I quit? Just because other people, there's like a chitty chatter or hearsay coming off of somewhere out of the bushes. Like, no, it's not worth it. Do we have something to close this reading out, please? Thank you. We got 3 in 1. And then we're going to close it out. The 7 of Wands, the 4 of Coins, and the King of Pentacles. So there might be a lot of different things you might be focusing on, a lot of different projects or people or ideas you want to build from. At least 4 of them, they will give you something back on the long term. So there might be 3 to 2 things that you have been doubting to pursue or struggle with. We already got the 3 of Coins out, so it really is confirming. Let's see. Or was it 2 to 3 of Coins? No, you see it's behind there. It's behind of the 6 of Wands reversed. Like, if you think you're gonna be because it reminds me of what I was reading, if you think you're gonna be at a loss, a financial loss or a social loss when you do something, then first of all, it's not true. And second of all, if it is, if you feel like in your intuition it's true, don't invest into it. But if you know it's something worth it, then you will gain more out of it than what you thought. You will go from a 7 of Wands to the King of Pentacles. You're gonna sit on this throne giving advice to other people based off of how you build that legacy. This is a very masculine reading, actually. Very masculine energy about taking action, being proactive in your life. But it's also a reading about the professional side, like the career. It's a career type of reading, heavily influenced, yeah, by professionalism and finances. It's telling you also about stamina, about what's it called? Nee, doorzettingsvermogen. But it's also, what's it called? Let me Google the word, because now I can find it and I really want to use the word. Just explain and finish the read. Perseverance. It's a really strong resilience. No, not only perseverance, sorry. And thank you for thinking with me. But perseverance. Because it teaches you something. You know what people don't like? What I completely understand. I am one to blame as well. When you build a legacy or company, it's a lot of doing the same thing repetitively. Everybody knows that repetitive things can be very boring and they can take the fun out of it, of course. This is also kind of the lesson for us that even if it's, ja, doorzettingsvermogen. Dat was het. Maar perseverance is de letterlijke vertaling daarvan. Dus daarom dacht ik even, oh ja. Maar ik doe alles gewoon in het Engels, anders je bereik gewoon wat groter. En ik doe ook dingen in het Nederlands, maar meer online of zo. Anders. Anyway, perseverance. But it's also to teach you something about, yes, things are very boring. Things can be very boring or repetitive, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And with the 4 of Coins here, it's going to give you a lot of security. It's going to help you with your control issues as well, for those who suffer from them. Or when you have problems with greediness or holding yourself back, you know, not showing out in the way that you can because you have these, I want to say, like, you have these biased thoughts about helping out somebody else. Like, that's all going to be gone because you're going to learn about the bad habits as well concerning your professionality and your attitude towards building something. Yeah. 11. This is going to be your karma. Everything you're going to receive from this, all positive, it's going to be your karma. It's going to help you set something free, I feel like. Yeah, with the 10 of Cups on the bottom, you might feel like, pardon, like you are fighting against your happiness, but you don't understand that you're actually building towards your happiness. You're building exactly that happiness in all the shape, ways, forms, colors, and smells that are going to, in the end, in the long run, help you believe that you are living the dream life, because you will be living the dream life. Like, it's so weird, but I'm getting like that your efforts and your results will be visible. Like, you might even feel like it's gonna be way overdue. Like, you will think like, oh, I thought that this blessing would never come anymore. I thought that this this job opportunity wouldn't come around. I thought that I would never see this person again in my life, you know, romantically or friendship wise. I'm even hearing something about a family reunion. It's like you thought that all of these wishes that you had and dreams that you've been putting a lot of effort in thinking, communicating, your emotions, really focusing on bringing that idea to life, you thought that it wouldn't come back anymore to so you can reap the rewards off of it. But honestly, you will see what's going on. So yeah, it's like door de zure appel heen bijten. Like, it's just persevering through the bad energy right now. The people trying to obstruct you, your path, what you like, what you don't. So just keep on moving. Don't listen to the outside noise. Conclusion of this reading is you're on the right path. You will be met with blocks and questions because you're on the right path. And it's not a bad thing to reflect on what you're doing. It would be bad if you wouldn't do that, honestly. Be focused on perseverance and understanding why boredom is also part of the craft. The craft can be anything, you know, it can be your own skill, your hobby, but also your business, your job. It can even be your perspective, you know, the way that you think, your ideology, the way that you show up in the world and do your magic to create the purpose that's meant for you to fulfill. That's part of your craft. Understanding as well that I feel like saying sitting on your ass, it's not going to help you. Okay, it's not going to bring you where you want to be. I want to say where you want to become. So it's like being inadequate is only going to do you wrong to yourself. And okay, there are things that are destined to be. Yes, God might have written things in the stars or in stone for you, but it never means that you can just sit there with open hands waiting for it to fall into your lap. That's not, no. There are a lot of universal laws, there are 12. And when we speak about attraction or manifestation, everything in the universe is transactional. If I do the work, I will get the results for it. Okay, so if I do the work, I will get the reward. Thinking that things, I feel like using the word half-assed, like half-assed work is gonna give half-assed results, you know. I feel like there's a very strong emphasis on doing what you need to do, not what you want to do, what you need to do. Because doing what you need to do is gonna bring you where you're supposed to be. Not where you think you want to be, but where you're supposed to be. So yeah, that was a reading. Exactly. The Hangman. Spirit was like, yeah, exactly. The Hangman, the Queen of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Temperance, the Ten of Wands, Six of Cups. Exactly. You just need to use your sword of truth and facts and your own connection with the divine or who you believe in. Angels, demons, fairies, the flame of a candle. Everybody believes in something else, okay? You need to make your connection with what you believe, your maker, your creator, your ancestors, and you need to fight through this this disharmony and negative energy, because people are really trying to burden your happiness and your balance and harmony just so that they can gain the energy that you blow off of yourself. For example, when you blow off steam, it's fucked up to believe, but there are people who feed off of that steam. And the Most High is trying to tell you, like, they don't deserve that. You just need to focus on what you know is your plan and what you know is your truth. And when you do that, when your intuition is like iron strong, when you have an iron will, that's exactly when, I don't know how to show it. That's exactly when you will be gaining that joy back again. So it's like, oh, you're almost there. You almost fought off this horrendous energy, I want to say. Like, you're almost there, girl, guy, friend, collective. You're almost there. And the moment when you get there, like, it's going to be shocking, not only to you, but to everyone around you. But you will be getting something back. I kind of want to know what that Six of Cups is. What are we getting back? What is the collective getting back when they continue? Their intuition or something that was hidden. Something that was hidden. You see the Emperor is shining through. Something like your partner or your father, a wish about your masculine energy. I'm hearing worldwide entertainment. So it can be something that you want to do on the internet, online, or you maybe want to be an entertainer or make other people laugh. It can also be healing. Oh yeah, it can be fame, travel, the world, going all around the world, showing yourself, authenticity. So you will actually be receiving your energy. You will finally then, you'll be back into, I want to say the good graces, but it's more so the good graces of the people. Yeah, because now a story is coming up about Mary Magdalene and Jesus, I want to say, and those were, they say, twin flames of each other. But everyone was really demonizing Mary Magdalene for being a sex worker, being hypersexual, being demonic even. But in fact, she was a healer. And her connection with God never changed because she never lost faith in the truth that God gave her. Like, whatever they tell you, don't defy off of the fact that I made you a healer, so you will stay one. Even if they will call you everything, even if they will put you on the, like, even if they defy your character or slander you. I don't know why this is coming up, because I haven't been contacting or in contact with Mary for a long time. Because I would always wear like a pendant of Mary, and then I took it off like a few weeks ago even. I don't know why. Like, those are things that happen, and then they send me like these storylines, you know. But they wanted to really point out that, for example, even Jesus didn't judge her, and everybody was like, "What? Why are you not judging her? She's like a whore, you know. She's like a slut. She fucked the whole town, the city. She's a demon, blah, blah, blah." But her truth is what, how can I say that? Kept her in her own power. And eventually when she got that back, and she got in the good graces of the people again, but also when people saw that she was in the good graces of God and also Jesus. I'm doing this because it's like good graces. People tell themselves everything to make their lies objective truth. Like people who are delusional. And I mean, go for it, be delusional. I ain't hating you on that, but if it's something that's visibly wrong or not true, then that's just crazy to me. So yeah, actually that's very shortcoming, because visibly true, not everybody has the same vision. So I take that back. Because people can see different things in the room. I'm not talking about mental illnesses. Yeah, but I don't know, that's just what came up to me. I never heard the storyline from that side before. But I remember a lot of people glamorizing, a lot of people, yeah, Mary Magdalene, yeah. Because I remember a lot of sex workers glamorizing her because she was so open about her sex life or her about her sexuality. But there was never in no scripture found how overly sexual she actually was. It was just the word spreading around town. And of course I did my own research of that what's left, you know. And of course there are a lot of scriptures I cannot read because they're not there. But I just figured out that they had a different relationship with each other. Jesus and Mary had a different relationship with each other. And then Mary Magdalene had a different relationship with herself and God. And then they both had a different relationship with the people, but it was all based off of slander and just putting somebody on a, like literally on the cross, what they did to Jesus. And the reason why I wanted to say this is because one of the first things I heard when I said the story was they wanted to crucify her like Jesus. So it's like, it doesn't matter how much people slander you or your ideas or speak ill onto your creativity or your plan or your intuition or who you are in your heart. You don't have to prove other people who you are in your heart, baby. Like, you don't have to tell other people that. You don't have to prove anyone. You just have to know and hold on to that fact, because you know in your heart what is true. And then based off of that fact, you live by it. You live by that rule, that truth. And then you will see everything coming back on the same frequency. If you believe in yourself that you are a good person, you will treat people good. Then you will attract goodness, okay? But it's the same with bad things. If you believe you're a bad person and you're a liar because you are learning how to be honest or something, you will start to notice those patterns of people lying to you. And if you, for example, tell yourself, I want to stop lying, I want to become an honest person, so from now on I shall speak the truth, and you will do that, you will start to speak truth, you will slowly enter a process where you will meet people who lie, people who sometimes lie, people who are trying to be honest, and people who are honest. The reason for that is because that's how you learn how to differentiate not only the energy behind all of those ways of interacting, but also you attract that energy, and your energy is not settled yet. You're becoming, and when you're becoming, there is no real definition of you, okay? And we're in the midst of that collectively. You are becoming a new person, or you're turning into a new version of yourself, okay? So right now you cannot be defined. So even if people tell you who you are, it's not correct, because you don't even know who you are. Like, hypothetically, you don't even know who you are. And that's why it's really important to always, yeah, okay, so spirit is trying to confirm, it's like trying to correct me, saying, I want to say you need to close out all that noise of people trying to chime in on your business and your plans and your wishes and your dreams and your goals and how you're going to reach them. And of course, listen to the feedback. Feedback is different than critique. Yeah, but feedback is different than critique. You can hear both of them, but do not always take it into account. Only take into account what resonates with you, and you will feel in your body when somebody speaks a truth. When your soul recognizes what somebody else is telling, you will feel it in your body, a sensation. The most common sensation that everybody experiences here on earth as individuals, well, to the point that I know and I can say this, is shivers, chicken skin, or shivers over your spine. You know, when somebody says something and you're like, you get like shivers, you're like, whoa. that's usually a confirmation, okay? So through bodily sensations, you will be guided onto your path. That's how your intuition talks to you, especially in moments where you're in the twilight zone, when you cannot be defined, your plan can't be. And also, why do you want to even? Sometimes there's peace behind not knowing. There is calmness and serenity in not defining. And finding your serenity in that and that tranquility, that's also a wise lesson because it helps you prepare for maybe future situations where you will really be unaware of what's going on around you and you're like, what's going on? And you can keep asking all those questions to get clarity, but clarity won't come because it's not meant for you to gain clarity. It's meant for you to just sit in unknowingness. I don't know how to say it. And this reading is all about continuing to, I feel like saying, fight for your own right, fight for your rights, for your truth. Exactly same as silence. And it also, it can really inspire you, you know, like not knowing and not hearing, like that silence. It's like just being, and being, that's the whole plan. Also with the world card as the end, being yourself, because we always see this rim, it's like closed with two ribbons, they're protecting you. So no matter what, you're protected. So you can leave already that outside of, you can already let go of all those fears of you being hurt or something bad's gonna happen to you. You can let it go. What really counts is you being yourself. Not being afraid to be yourself, but also being confident when you're yourself. And right now, as a collective, we're all building up towards that moment because we had the Hanged Man with the Queen of Swords. So it's confirmation that, okay, you might be in a place right now where you feel stuck. You feel very wise, but you feel stuck, stagnant, like nothing's moving forward. Everything around you is just sitting there. But you can cut yourself free, okay, with your own sword of truth. And that truth equals that enlightenment of the Hanged Man. And that enlightenment, that epiphany, that awakening, that calling is for everybody different, okay? But you usually feel it in your body, in your gut, what is true. And it's to, I feel like saying, break down all this noise and this conflict that people want to disrupt your peace and your happiness, but also your character, how the world perceives you. A lot of us, they have our only our aura, okay, our energy, our presence into this world is healing enough. Okay, a lot of people, they haven't reached that belief yet or about themselves because they haven't found the concrete facts that help them believe after doing research or just being in the phase of life. But a lot of us, our aura, our presence, our opinions, or our ideas, our advice is very forthcoming to peace all over. And the more you expand in your energy, the more your aura expands, the more people you reach. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you are too, because you own, like, real recognize real, wise recognize wise. So you are also wise. That's the beauty of mirrors. You are looking at somebody who holds the same as you. It's differently translated, but we hold the same traits, same energy, same way of thinking. You know, we just appreciate it differently, or like, I mean, approach it differently. You're welcome. So there is this energy that will expand every time you even not only work on yourself, I want to say, but accept yourself for who you are. You will only become bigger and bigger, right? So your reach will be better, and eventually all of these burdens will be transmuted. Yeah, to the tower. 4, that's the emperor. So there is this weird energy, maybe you feel it. It's like very dense, it's heavy. Every morning you wake up, like in the world right now, it can feel very burdening. Pardon me, like somebody is pressuring you or sending you something dark to make you feel weighed down, the more you focus on what we just discussed with the truth and your own wisdom, your own epiphany, the the truth and the knowing that you have about your own awakening, that calling in your gut, that intuition, right? The more you focus on that, the more these burdens will transmute and turn into something else. It will turn to joy, to happiness, to connecting in the community. Because we had temperance, the 10 of wands, and the 6 of cups. So there's this yeah, you see, so it also has to do with speaking up, not making yourself small anymore, not shying away from who you are. If you, for example, I have an example. I have something that I always struggle with. So I started a spiritual business. That's what I'm doing right now as well in this life. Like, I'm a spiritual coach and I help people on a platform. I give them advice and tarot readings, and I talk to them. I'm like their coach. Like, some people might even, for fun, they called me, like some of my clients, they called me like a therapist, a spiritual therapist. And in the beginning, I noticed that a lot of people were very weirded out about that, because if I would tell people I am an entrepreneur or like a businesswoman, like I have my own LLC, kind of, in Dutch you call it ZZP'er. If you would just tell them that you are your own business woman, the next thing they would always ask me is, okay, well, what do you do? And I would always feel so weird saying, like, oh yeah, I'm a spiritual coach, I'm a high priestess, I study the occult and mysticism, and I do tarot readings for a living, like, this is how I pay my bills. And then people would just look at me like, okay, weird. And I got so insecure about it that after a while, I stopped telling people I had my own business. And it's so bad, actually, because this was all like a gift from God. Like, I didn't have any work. I was like, not per se sitting at home with a burnout, but I just had very bad experiences at a job. And I got like kind of like laid off, and I also filed my own notice. I quit there, but I also kind of got laid off. It was a very bad ending. And then I was like jobless for months, bro. I had so much financial issues. I was like stuck, and I was sending my CV out to a lot of different places, making coffee, even doing dishwashers, because I've always been taught to, yeah. Yeah, but still in my mind, like, I didn't understand that. Like, I had to learn that people value it. Because the thing is this, I was taught to take whatever job gives you the money. Even if you're really desperate for a job, then you cannot be picky. You just need to get a job, get the money, get yourself back on track. I don't have problems like cleaning up or being like a cleaner or doing dishes, like all those shitty jobs that the society calls you shitty, but they're literally the bricks of society. So I would always do those jobs, and I was waiting because I was like, you know what, I'm so desperate. Yeah, so so exactly. This is when you're taught that, and when you take that in, that will only make you an even stronger professional or career. That will only make you stronger career wise. It's also going to make you a very strong person of character. So don't ever look down on that part. Like, my father taught me that, and I really appreciate him for it. Like, it's a real man, teaching me how to do like man things, because I don't have a brother or anything. But like, I was really taught to, you know what, if you need the money, you can be desperate, you can be picky. You just need to find a job and get your shit out of it. Just hustle, hustle, make that shit, grind, work for it. And I always looked at it with admiration, because I was like, yeah, you know what, it's right. Because money is money. Exactly, yeah, exactly. They're very underrated. Or, for example, people who swipe the streets. Like, people are so disrespectful to street swipers or people who work as garbage men, but they nag every time when somebody doesn't clean the trash. Like, you want a pretty street and you want a clean street or a clean neighborhood, but you talk a lot of bad things about people who do the job. And sometimes it's even like colorist, or they have racist, like comments. And that's also because the mind goes there. They find a reason to be ungrateful, to be hateful, because they never found the strength of the job in it, like the true worth of it, the essence of it. So it was really difficult for me to admit to people that I was doing spiritual work. And like, I realized also, like, people would test me. They would be like, oh, so you can, because I'm also a medium, and they will, for example, would say, so you can talk to dead people. Okay, so what's my grandma saying now? They would make comments like that, and I would just be very discouraged. I would be like, damn. And I would just have conversations with God and be like, God, they're so ungrateful. I understand why you wrote the first testament. Like when God is angry at everyone. I always had to laugh with him about it, because the many people these days have been very indoctrinated. Well, because that's what they're used to. They're used to making fun of jokes of jobs like this. So they would just go out and beyond just to shame me or make me feel awkward about my job. And of course, not always intentionally. People do it subconsciously. That's why I don't take it to heart. But I still made it affect who I am, because I was always very direct and open about me, and I never cared. Even as a young girl, I would always be like, yeah, I do this and I do that. So what do you have to say? If you have to say anything, and people will be like, oh, she's so sassy, she has an attitude. But now it just turned into me becoming a dormant, like in verbalizing what I'm doing. And I started to notice that people were actually kind of, it was really weird. I started to see that people were getting like joy out of it. They're like, oh yeah, she got her dream job, and she got what she's doing, what she always desired to do, and now she's ashamed to speak on it. Ha 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 ha. Now I feel less worse about my shitty life. And eventually I really had to learn. I know. That's also what I had to learn. That's so beautiful. Can't give pearls to a swine. I never heard that saying, so thank you. I learned something new today. And that's something that I had to learn very harshly. That people would also treat those pearls not with the same perspective of beauty like I have been treating them. Um, so eventually I just really pulled back, and I stopped telling people what I was doing. Like, honestly, I stopped telling people what I was doing. I stopped talking about my job. And then I actually realized, like, wait, that's not what my creator, my maker wants. He gave me this job because it was actually kind of funny. I was still jobless, looking for a job. And I constantly had this gut feeling that I had to start my own business. And I was just doing tarot reads and meditative sessions, communicating with my spiritual team and my guides, my ancestors, all of the divine beings that I really looked up to, like from mythological stories to real beings who were praising gods in certain cultures, to Native American history, all of those energies of divine essence. Like I built a relationship with them, and I kept going back and forth with them, like, should I own a business? Should I start a business? Should I start a spiritual business? Like, I remember as a little girl, I always wanted to do something witchy, like making my own potions or oils and herbal blends and all of that. And people would just always laugh at me because I was the freak kid doing that, until I got guided to do so. And I felt really weirded out because I was like, how am I gonna make money off of spirituality? How am I gonna make money off of doing tarot readings? Because up until now, nobody really believed in my gifts. Nobody believed that what I read was correct. And then God constantly told me, yeah, like, I really wanted to do things like this. That's why it's always good to reconnect with your inner child, because your inner child tells you who you will become in the future, or who you're supposed to be, like where your luck is, your happiness. Your inner child will always tell you where your happiness lays. Always. So, um, I eventually started to open this business. I opened my own entrepreneur stuff, like at the office, you know, for LLCs, you go to the government, you open all of that, you know, you get your own business number, your tax number, everything, like a whole profile and account with everything. And I just got told, do all of your spiritual things, but also your creative things, because I'm also a painter. So I also make paintings. I like to make jewelry. I make music. Like, I'm a producer. I do a lot of things. I'm very ambitious. I'm a very creative person. So I was advised to create my own entrepreneurship, my own business, and do all these things as well for other people. So if people want a painting and I have something open for commission, I will do so, you know. If I sell jewelry or earrings, you know, I will do so. So one day there was an open job application on a spiritual platform for a tarot reader. And for fun, I was like, oh my god, Farah, that's my name. I was like, oh my god, Farah, should I do this? It feels weird. Should I just do it? Because I remember when I was a young girl, you had these TV networks after 12, you know, with the adult shows. You sometimes had these shows of people who were like psychics and mediums, and then they would just call with people on the TV and through the TV for people that, for example, lost their grandparent or their baby or whatever. I love to watch those shows, and I always felt in my intuition, my gut part of me, that it was really true. So for fun, I applied on the job application. Mind you, I was jobless for I think maybe more than 8 months over there at that time. And I was really feeling like the depression kicking in. Like, I wasn't doing anything at all. Things were not working out for me. It's okay. I'm just gonna finish the live and you can always read it back. But good luck at work, Quinton. Thank you for listening and for all the compliments. Love, love, love. So I really appreciate it. So I realized that I really needed that job. I really needed a job, something to sustain me, you know, and love. And then I applied as a joke. And that company, it actually really hired me. Like, the next day, I already had an interview, and the day after, I was hired. And I was like, what the hell? Sorry, like, what the F? Like, that's so weird. Like, I've been applying for job applications for months. I've been going around businesses. I've literally been around shops with my CV, everything. And I've just been going around showing who I am, my face. Hi, I'm good at this, good at that. Nobody would hire me. Exactly. That's a real sign. Exactly. I was like, what? That's so weird. And it was just such a it was lucky. Like, I was lucky that I just had opened my business, because they only accepted, exactly, they only accepted entrepreneurs, like people who are independent contractors, kind of. But that's maybe the wrong word. And then I started to build up my clientele, my group, and then I started to really have faith in that the rest was going to work out really well. And I think by sharing this part of my story with you guys, I also wanted to give like a confirmative addition to this reading. Like, that was my truth. And my truth was that I always have faith that what the universe is showing me about me, that that's who I really am. Yeah. Yeah, but it took me a long time though, because I had a lot of insecurities and a lot of fears, and I really had to fight through it. And that's why I think with the Queen of Swords and the Five of Wands, like, I had to fight with family, with friends. Like, people called me delusional, schizophrenic, mentally ill. I heard that from the closest people around me. And I just swallowed it all, and I told myself, they can hate me, they can say that you need to take action, stop coming into your lap, and so you did it. Exactly. So I also did the work, I went after it. But it's also this fighting part. Like, you need to fight. Yeah, I am back and you still fresh to death. Yeah, welcome back. So now these people say that I'm very wise and that they're proud of me, and that they use me as an example for themselves to contain and sustain confidence for themselves, to believe in their own path. And in the beginning, I felt very much resentment for it, but I've worked through it because the resentment is just, I feel like resentment was just me not being able to say, what you did to me really hurt me, but I'm happy that you found your truth and your happiness and confidence through my agony and pain. Actually, it's very corny, but that's what I really thought, because I was like, you know what, you really hurt me. Is it fully restored because they hurt you in the past? Yes, most of them it's my family members. The hardest part was my mother, actually. I always thought your mom would support you, and moms do support you, but not always and not all the time. And come a fresh gal. Stop. You're funny though. It's the lightning. If I take off the lightning, will I still be cute? Hello. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I need to put my. I need to put this in the charger. But yeah, I had a lot of personal relationships kind of become strained because of it. And like I said, like uh yeah, you see the light only shows you what's there, because I already said my acne is here. I'm not happy with my acne. You can see my mustache. I bet you would want to see a little bit. See my mustache. I'm just laughing. Haha. Okay. You guys make me act silly as freak. Anyway, those people, they now look up to me. They ask me for advice. They also ask me for my services. I know. But yeah, all of that was just, I feel like, reason for me to tell you that you shouldn't give up on your dreams. Like, to no one, honestly. And I always had that mindset, like nobody can tell me what I need. And it's really true. Nobody can tell me what I need except for me. People can remind you, but they cannot tell you. Reminding you is something different, because as a soul, you remember everything. That's why they can remind you, but they can't tell you as if you don't know already. And yeah, I finally came so far. I finally like came so far for myself that I'm still trying to build up my business, of course. I'm trying to build like a website. I'm trying to find a way to call with third-party clients outside of my other job, you know. For an example, if one of you wants a reading, how would I communicate with you guys? Through what kind of app that everybody uses, you know? It needs to be something that everybody uses. It needs to be something to really help the collective instead of making it a little bit difficult to do your job. And yeah, apart from that, don't give up on your dreams. Never. Like, never give up on your dreams. Also, when nobody believes you, even if God is silent for weeks, yeah, because He has been silent. No reading, just come be my wife and I pay for you. No, thank you. Anyways, I do appreciate the compliment, but no, thank you. And exactly. But it's not only paying love, it's also we're not on that type of time. Like, through a screen, things feel more, they feel more okay. I don't want to pay love, I pay respect. You can hire somebody to do that for you. There are so many crazy businesses these days. People do everything you want. for money. And if you say you want to pay, you can pay, my boy. But not with me. Not with me. So, okay. I'm going to do something else now. I'm going to do a Q&A for a little bit. We've been... Wait, how am I going to do this? Okay, I want a long life card read. Long life... Okay, can you tell me how it looks like? Ask your tarot question. What's a lifelong read? I can do past, future, present, future. Whoa. Present. Whoa, past, present, future for you. I can do that. 1 year of reading. You want 1 year of reading. You want free readings for your whole year. But you can't. Well, no, I don't believe in cards. Oh, what do you believe in? How did you end up on a tarot card reader live? That's always interesting to me. God. As a real man, you should understand this and never offer money for being a wife. Then all your chances are gone with the wind. Kavy. Because of you. Then all your chances are gone with the wind because of you. What do you mean? Are you saying that I should never accept money just to be somebody's girl? I know. That means that I think that my worth is tangible. But it's not. I want to understand what card readers think of God. That's why I here ask. Okay, well, what I think of God. I think God is... The guy is here for you, I meant. Oh. No. No. So what I believe... Okay, well, every tarot card reader thinks differently. But I believe in different gods. There's one almighty maker. I believe that the real God makes all the gods. So every god from every different religion or belief system or way of life. I believe that that's the real creator. He also created all of the universes and all of the different dimensions in the world. He is a very metaphysical energy. I'm saying he for the grammar because we live in patriarchy. So everything is based off of men, unfortunately. But it doesn't have a gender. It has a very strong essence and it's connected to light, but more so the concept of light, not light itself. It can be light, for sure, but then it means that God doesn't have... Yes, I can read for myself with cards, but they say that that's very difficult because when you cannot read yourself as a person, you cannot read what the cards are saying to you about yourself. So it has to do with reflection abilities. Are you good at self-reflection? If you're good with becoming self-aware and reflecting, then you're good at reading cards. But yeah, I believe that God is just my best friend, honestly. And he creates everyone for a reason. Yes, it's like a blind spot. Because it's like ignorance, you know? Like a veil of ignorance. But yeah, God is like my bestie. Oh, you are good with self-aware. Yes, I'm unfortunately highly self-aware. But God comes in different shapes, and he also comes through different people. I also believe that God makes people and also the bad people because he wants to teach us a lesson, you know, sometimes. And the bad people, they are meant to be bad, so they are having their purpose already. I'm just gonna throw this one, like the white man lip. No. Yeah, God is like my bestie because, you know, when sometimes you suffer and you go through things that nobody understands or sees, And you think nobody understands or sees because the word nobody says no body, no physical body, right? But God doesn't have a physical body. God is. He is everything. He's everywhere. He sees all. So he sees that you're suffering. He sees that you go through things. When you summon him in prayer, or when you're praying or talking with your God, or sitting in a crying mode or weeping or on your knees, and I already found him. I hope you will find God if you say that to me. And then, if you sit in that situation asking for God to deliver you from the burdens you're going through, or from the obstacles and challenges you're going through, love, love. Just one love. God is love. But it's not that corny like all those hippies say, because God is more than love. But if you sit in that energy asking for the strength, the courage, what you need to be delivered from that heaviness that's weighing on your heart, that's when God will really help you. He won't help you in the way that you think is logical to you. He's going to help you in a way that's going to be beneficial for your growth. Just like, when they say, I pray for courage, why don't I just get courage? No, if you pray for courage, you will get moments where you will have to be courageous. So if you pray for peace, you will get situations that are going to ask peace of you. It's just not going to give you peace immediately. So yeah, that's what I believe. And yeah, he is my bestie, because every time something goes wrong, I turn to him. And I always did, actually. But when I was young, like, I didn't believe that God came, like, that's a man sitting on a cloud or something. I don't believe in that. Also, some religions, I asked for their God. Their God didn't answer me. Different gods answered me. Yeah. And it's like, different gods, they answered me, but not the white man on the cloud or the God that was sitting on the cloud. So I don't really believe in like a God on a cloud. But how you know? Because I ask them to reveal themselves to me in their way. So, for an example, if I feel like I am talking to a Buddhist god or goddess, I ask them detailed questions about how they show up in certain images. And I don't say it out loud because I do believe in demons and demonic beings, and they can hear what you're saying and then send you that sign. Um, but maybe that's just still with my beliefs. But like, you need to develop what you believe yourself. Not everything is gonna resonate. But I would just ask little signs about what God am I talking to. For example, this is so weird. Let me. But how do you already feel like it's a? But how you already feel it's like a Buddhist? How do you sense it? Well, because every energy, of course, you don't learn that immediately. You train yourself with energy. If you meet a lot of Buddhists, you will know the core energy of the Buddhist. If you meet a lot of satanic people, you will understand the core energy of a Satanist. But it's very tactical work. It's becoming very in tune with your senses in your body. And the only way you can do that is by removing all the burdens of your nervous system. So really healing trauma. If you heal trauma, you become aware of how energy in its pure form feels. And just energy, simplified, just energy itself. Yeah, the core energy as in the basis. Like, you have energy, that feels a certain way. And then you have, for an example, just like emotions. You feel when somebody is grumpy, because that emotion of grumpiness, it has that type of certain energy to it. Same with sadness, or when we say you look blue today, you know, you feel very sad or depressed, you feel or see a certain color, you know, you feel the heaviness around it. Reminding yourself what everything feels. It can be a task, but I believe that you won't have the capacity to remember if it's not meant for you to learn. So, of course, for me, it was meant to learn because that's how I help people heal. Because I also do Reiki healing, energy healing, and all that stuff. So, understanding where these energies come from, differentiating how they feel like, to what it's connected, it's only helping you to become aware when you come across it. So when somebody's depressed, for example, because I also work with chakras, there are a lot of symptoms that carry depression, also in energy. Same with people who have OCD, same with people who are schizophrenic or who have a certain mental illness or who have a physical illness. You will feel energy of stagnation in their body, or you will feel it around a certain chakra, or every time they say a certain word, or I don't know, I just started to sense and filter it through everything. And then I really realized, like, okay, this is how this energy feels like, this is how this energy feels like, this is how that energy feels like. And I just reminded myself like a database of all the energies. Yeah. But it's a lot though. But I would just start with your own senses and your intuition, feeling, asking for yourself first, like how does your sadness feel? How does your happiness feel like when you feel joy? Because everybody experiences it differently. And when you start with yourself, it's easier to learn from others. Pardon. Yeah, thank you. I want to say I did a lot by myself, but that's not true. I got a lot of spiritual help from the other side. Actually, the only real energies or people that helped me were people who were dead, people who were dying. Well, some people were alive, but most of them were spiritual energy, just energies from the other side. But it's because I believe in it. I also believe in placebo. If you don't believe in God, then there's never going to show up a force that looks like God or feels like his energy, you know, because you don't open up to it. Never scared of it. In the beginning, I was scared, but I realized that it wasn't fear for what it is. It was fear for the unknown, that I don't know what it is. It's fear for facing it. For an example, I once had, I had some people do very heavy voodoo on me, like literal voodoo. Somebody traveled to Kenya and they hired somebody who did voodoo on me and shit with weird things. And I have met some demons and devils who would show themselves in my energy, or who were sent to my house and to this room. Yeah, jealousy, especially men who I broke up relationships with, or women who are jealous of my relationship with a man. It's most of the time it's romance or inheritance with money from the family. It's almost always those reasons people do it, because of jealousy and envy. But I remember one time I was, yeah, I don't understand it either like that. Like, I understand now I have to protect myself, but before all that happened to me, I didn't know that evil like that exists at all. So yeah, they were sending me things, also entities, you know, demonic entities. Um, yeah, I just did my own stuff. That's why, like I was created to fight through it, so I knew what to do to fight through it. You know what I mean? But they send me certain beings and entities and demons. And I remember one time I was very close, almost in contact, when I was cleansing myself, with a spirit, like a very dark devil kind of demon, like a devil demon. I don't know what it even was. It looked like the devil to me. Anyways, it was very close, and the fear that I have was more, can it touch me? And if it can touch me, what can happen? But it couldn't touch me because it's a different dimension. So I kind of realized the fear is irrational. It's more so the fear of me not understanding what's right or what's correct about it that makes me more scared. But I wasn't scared of the being itself. And that's when I also realized, like, the fear doesn't really exist. They say fear is false emotion appearing real, or false energy appearing real. It's an illusion. Fear is an illusion. And when you have been programmed since a little child to be afraid, all those years you believe that, you have to deprogram back. So you have to put daily effort into deconditioning your mind and telling yourself, no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. This is not true. The fear is based on nothing. Whatever you want to teach yourself. And yeah, it helped me a lot to not have fear. And there were other situations when I was like traumatic things in life that I went through that I'm too sensitive for, you know. And then that also teaches you to not be afraid, because I'm already forced to go through something that I don't know how to handle. So why should I be afraid? Because fear is not going to add, it's not going to take away a burden. It's only going to add one. So I just realized it's not worth it, you know. I really started to see fear as a being that I can just ignore. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I understand fear, and it's normal that people have fear. It's actually really good. It means your instincts are very sharp. But a sharp instinct doesn't always have to be an on-point instinct. And that's where people often go wrong with believing or understanding that. So yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating how I handled it. I know everybody thinks so as well. All those people who are in a cult as well. Some people, they even still watch me to this day. They watch my videos, they watch also my live. Very random actually to say. But they watch my lives, they watch my videos. A lot of people who did black magic on me or did spell work on me, they still watch me to see how I freed myself from it. And they will never know. And that's just my little secret with God. And yeah, I work with both dark and light. Like, did they ever speak to you? You mean the people? No, they're afraid to reach out. Some people, they try to undercover under alias, like a second name or something. How I know was that my intuition, because the spell work and the intention of all that bad shit, it had energy to it that's also connected to the person energy, because it's gonna mix. It's like when somebody leaves the trail of crumbs. That's how I can like, I can smell energy. I can smell who is exactly who. Sometimes I even see people that I don't know in person, or they do something to me or send me evil eye, and then I feel the energy, just the same energy as when they send me evil eye. Then I knew it was them. So yeah, but I don't look down on them anymore. I actually pity them. These people, they devote their whole life into taking somebody's life or hurting them, you know, and that's really bad. Um, I learned a lot from it. I learned it on to not corrupt my heart. That's the biggest thing I learned. That even pure evil, like pure love, pure hatred, really exists. And everybody who's experienced pure hatred and evil, like, that's crazy. Like, good of you that you lived through it. And it's good of you that you lived through it. Yeah, but the thing is, if you see true hatred and evil, you also see that you don't want to become like that. Because not having empathy for trying to take somebody's life, or for example, people who send a hitman to one another, you know, or people who are stalkers, or people who are abusive, physically abusive, you know. I always try to look at it from their eyes. If you hurt someone, for example, if your ex-boyfriend physically abused you, seeing the person you claim to love crying on the floor with their hands covering their head, and not even a little bit of the pain in their eyes will tell you, stop, this is going too far, you are not this evil, you're not this monstrous. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. And I don't have to either. I don't have to imagine how it feels like to be apathetic, because I'm not gonna open up myself to that dark side. Like, I'm very empathetic, sometimes a little bit too much, and sympathetic as well. I cannot be evil like that. I can be evil, of course, everybody can. Yeah, you know, I saw this, for example, this video clip of, I don't know where it was, but they were filming like three men. Yeah, exactly. How can you look in the mirror? But the thing is, those people, they don't look in the mirror. And if they do, they're blind. That's that blind spot we were talking about, remember? From earlier. Like, it's people who have that in like a very big amount. They don't look at themselves. They can't see themselves for who they are. They lack self-reflection very heavily. And yeah, I don't know, there was this video of these men owning up and confessing to raping women. Exactly. And these men, they were confessing to hurting women. And the interviewer was a man. And he asked these guys, okay, well, how do you feel about how you leave the woman after, or what you do to her, you know? And these men was like, yeah, very bad. And the interviewer was like, but is it bad because you hurt them? Like, do you understand it's bad because you made them cry, or that they're yelling or screaming? And he's like, no, no, bad that they yell so loud the neighborhood can hear us. Then people see that we're doing it. And I was so shocked. And then he continued asking questions about trying to make them reflect on their actions. And the only thing that these three men could answer was that they just hated that women act like that, because they are catcalled and made visible to the crowd to be these molesters and rapists and monstrous beings. And I tried to like look in their eyes, you know, a little bit reading their energy. And it was so dark and heavy, like it was empty. Like they were empty inside. Just like when you sometimes watch these after pictures of those serial killers, you know, like before and after pictures, you see somewhere along the line the light died in their eyes. And that light in your eyes, guys, that's your soul reflecting back, okay, through your eyes. So if it's empty there, yeah, do not engage with that crowd, with that person. It means that that person is empty. And of course, those people were also probably created for us to recognize, like, what should I avoid, you know, what should I protect myself from. But it's also there to remind you I don't know, it always reminds me of who I can become if I don't stay on the right path. Yes, I do believe that those people can get better, but not in the same lifetime. I think that it will take some reincarnations for those people to actually become better. You will have to, like, I don't really believe in sinning. Well, I do believe in sinning as in you do bad, you will get punished for it in the afterlife. But I feel like they need to. It's so weird because maybe I'm hustling things to each other. But for example, in Buddhism, they say that a lot of humans who have been bad humans have been reincarnated as animals. Well, they definitely need to go to like life, like a lifelong therapy sessions about social cues, and also asking them questions about why do they really believe that they're different than others, because many times they feel very displaced from society, and they think that they can do those things because they are so different than one another, they're so estranged from humanity and population. Yeah, of course, that's also a good question, if they can even be reachable, but you never know if you try. But yeah, I believe it can change, but also if they want to change. If that person does not want to change or believe they can, it won't happen. Because to me, that means that their soul in that moment has set themselves straight on, I can't be changed anymore. I am who I am and that's it. Like they locked themselves up in a way. So yeah. I might close the reading out actually, the live out soon. I'm gonna go to 110. So, does anybody have any questions yet or more before I go? It was a very random live, and I actually wanted to stay up very shortly, but I got overwhelmed by all those compliments about my beauty. I appreciate it a lot, even though that was not what I think I would talk about. But yeah, the comment section here always surprises me. It's always surprising me. So, KV, do you have any questions still before I leave? My one true watcher. Of course, I really want to try and be more live. Like, this reading was also an awakening for me. I try to be more online on my platform. I try to put out more readings, but I just have a lot of struggles right now holding on to a routine. I'm just all over the place. I'm doing something everywhere around the corner. So it makes it difficult for me to just tell myself, okay, now you need to do this right now. I'm doing a lot of different things, girl, guy, people. So yeah, no questions. I really enjoyed this. Well, thank you very much. And I'm gonna set up a web shop also for my spiritual stuff. And pardon me, when it's online, I'm gonna do a little raffle. You're amazing. Thank you for being so open and sharing your questions with me and your energy. I appreciate it a lot. I want to say I'm gonna do a raffle soon, and what will be the name of what, darling? It's just Roz Oracle. I'm just gonna rozoracle.nl or .com. I'm gonna figure that out. But I'm gonna do like a raffle, and you can join the raffle if you want. Oh yeah, Roz Oracle. Just like the same name as my YouTube name. And that raffle, I'm gonna figure out maybe what I'm gonna put in there, like incense, oils, or candles, whatever I'm gonna make. And yeah, if you feel like joining, you can. I will definitely come up with like discount stuff for all of my day one fans. getting all of that out of the way and just preparing. And yeah, because if you speak Dutch, like, and if you want a reading, that's possible. Your dad is okay, already make your own thing. Yeah, well, I like to do that. So thank you for tonight. Thank you for joining the live. And I hope I see you soon. Maybe I should just do like what day every week I should go live. Just have a standard day and a better timing. It's so late right now. Anyway, have a lovely evening. And thank you much for watching. Namaste. And see you all soon, guys. Thank you for listening and hearing and liking and engaging. And see you the next time. Ben geabonneerd. Stay in touch. Yes. Updates are coming. En sorry, mijn profiel is heel funky. Dus ja. Thank you, Ra. Good night. Good night, Katie. Doei.